Acapulco Marina, 2019, April 11th. We have a view of the sun going down here, but what happens after that is somewhat baffling. Let's speed up to where sunset occurs, and we'll observe what follows. So at this stage, the sun has gone down below our viewpoint. Let's rewind a few minutes so that we can clearly register this in our observations. So there's the sun in its last moments before disappearing. And 2 minutes later, it's gone out of view and on its way to go and wake up everybody in China. But hold on a minute. In the footage we were just watching, you may have noticed a kind of surging of the sunset light. This phenomena crops up in all the videos that I've done on this subject. So, question, is that normal? Is it a regular process that when we have a sunset, it expands and drops repeatedly like that? Let's presume the answer is yes, that's normal. Well, I'm fine with that, and we're done here. Case closed. Everything's fine. But before we close up shop and go down to the beach, let's watch a little more of this footage after the sun goes down. But there's a couple last details that I want to clarify for us to view this event intelligently. In order to grasp what we have here, it's vital to remember that the sun has already left. The time here right now is 7:59 p.m. And the time where we observed the sun touching the horizon was 7:54 p.m. So, seeing how the sun has already gone down below the horizon 5 minutes ago, it's now 8 o'clock, then why is that light still there? Now, in fact, it is normal that when the sun goes down, for there to be some degree of illumination persisting on the horizon. And the word for that is twilight. And there are 3 stages of this that get progressively darker. So which category of twilight does this bright pulsating light here come under? And the answer is absolutely none of them. This is not twilight, which is a more gentle illumination spread evenly across the horizon sky. This intense, pulsating entity here is an anomaly. Well, I'll stop talking here and rewind a couple minutes so that we can just observe.
This is what needed.
Just look at this. It's now more than 20 minutes since the sun disappeared below the horizon. But we've still got this pulsating dome of light going strong, as we see here. Wow, amazing. Consider this. It may be a justifiable declaration to say that all of us who don't feel that this is amazing, well, that's because we don't actually grasp or realize what's in front of us. Seriously, if we did comprehend it, we would be amazed, yes, maybe, but also agitated and motivated to action. Now, I don't mean agitated in the sense of some kind of a dreadful panic, but here's an example. Let's say you're happily skipping across your living room, heading for the door, with keys in hand, to get in your car and drive off to something you've got to go and do, whether it be shopping or go to work or whatever. But as you turn around to close the door behind you, you notice that the curtains in your living room are on fire. Now, of course, this is going to suddenly dictate a change in your plans for that moment or for the day, and you'll need to drop what you were planning to do and deal with this curtains on fire situation. So you get a bucket of water, put out the fire, problem solved, and now you can continue along your merry way. The point is that suddenly events or circumstances can arise that dictate a change in the plans we had for that day or more. Certain events that may arise can mean that we have to drop whatever it is we were doing to deal with the thing that has arisen, or prepare for something that is arising. If the time ever comes that a person like me or you truly realizes what is at hand here, it will propel a number of changes in our priorities, decisions, and what we choose to do with whatever time is available to us each day. The type of actions and decisions that I'm referring to would be things like allocating time to learn things like first aid and survival skills. Another example would be to get back on track with a jogging program, to start tuning up your cardiovascular endurance capacity, in addition to fortifying your general physical fitness. And all this toward the hope that you will have greater strength and endurance to cope with physically demanding circumstances that will arise from this. Back to our main subject. We've been observing a after-sunset event at Acapulco Marina from April 11th, 2019. Endeavoring to reach an accurate understanding of this extraordinary activity that occurs here in front of our eyes, we need additional data, enabling us to avoid assumptions and instead move forward on the solid foundation of correct facts and observations. And the good news is, we've got tons of additional data. Let's bring in another event at this same location from the 16th of April, 2019. Now, because this looks so similar to what we've already been watching, I'll clarify that the first example we observed was on the 11th of April, and now this one we bring in is, as stated already, on the 16th of April. So here we are again at 7:15 in the evening, approaching sunset. Right off the bat, I can see some tremendously important details visible already, but for now we'll skip ahead to get to the main aspect that we need to observe here. Bear in mind that in order to achieve an accurate understanding of this, at times it is necessary to have patience, to simply observe in order to become familiarized with the behavior of things, becoming able to recognize a lot of what transpires here. Okay, we've arrived at where the sun is touching the horizon, and this is a key factor, simply because it is in our interest to know for certainty that the sun has gone down behind the horizon, and it ain't coming back until tomorrow. Now, it's interesting to note that apart from those few bursts of light after sundown, The light has pretty much all gone and the sky has calmed right down, looking pretty much the way it should after a normal, regular sunset. But it seems like those bursts of light have started up again. So, to assimilate this sequence of events, after the sun went down, taking its light with it, there was a brief period where we did not have this solid light entity in view either. And then in the few minutes following that, this began to pump up again. And now, minutes later, it is exerting quite a definite cycle of expansion and abrupt reversal, and then repeating that numerous times over again. It's not the sun, so what is that? Now there are a few more stunning observations to be made in this, but for now let's take a random detour to look at something else where we can see that Nemesis is back. I'd like to show you an event captured on video by the dedicated Skywatch Sentinel 7 Spaulding in Cleveland, Ohio.
Hi everybody, it's 7. It's the 18th of April, 2019, Cincinnati, Ohio, USA. It's 7:12 a.m., so we're about 12 minutes after sunrise, and look at this. I mean, look at that giant red glow in the middle of the screen. I mean, that is crucial right there. Right there. And then the ensuing insanity below it. See, there's something huge back up in there. Wow. They're here. I mean, that's just incredible. I like the big red one right there in the middle of the screen. That is too cute. I mean, look at that thing. A giant, perfectly round, red cloud? Not.
Excellent work by our man 7. Let's take a moment and isolate what is seen in this capture. Here we have the morning sun. And then there's this red ball next to it. And what we're so liable to do next is, okay, there's the sun, there's the big giant red ball beside the sun, and what's that over there? And okay, what's for lunch? That's what we're so liable to do. Let me rephrase what we've got here. There's the sun on the right, and next to it is an anomalous celestial body in our solar system that is huge, multiple times the size of the Earth. That we can know for sure. Moreover, we know what this is. It is a part of the Planet X Nemesis system. Notice also the larger dark object to the left. As it appears there at the moment, this larger mass isn't quite well enough defined as a round body to support a conclusion that it is a celestial object as per our discussion. However, 7 keeps the camera rolling, and we can be so glad that you did that, 7, because within a couple minutes, the obscurity that was a problem clears up, and we have the definition that was needed. A sufficient definition for that body on the left side to see that it is a planetary object. A big shout out to 7 here. Brother, you certainly nailed it with this one. Behold the Nemesis. And so, which one is it? The red one in the middle, or the larger dark one on the left? Which one of those is the red dwarf, the sun of that miniature solar system? And to just give a speculation off the top of my head, I would guess that the red one in the middle is the Nemesis unit, or in other words, the center of that system. And the darker mass to the left would be one of the planets that orbit this dwarf star. Thus, the dark one, while it appears to be larger than the red sphere there, it would be, in reality, a much smaller item. It appears larger because it's much nearer to the Earth than the red spherical body. Based on the information that we have so far, the red dwarf at the center of this Nemesis system is a little bit larger than Jupiter. And the 7 planets that orbit the dark star are approximately the size of the Earth. For a size comparison between the Earth and Jupiter, you could ask, how many planets the size of Earth could you fit inside of Jupiter? Now, if that answer was 300 planets the size of Earth could fit inside of Jupiter, that's quite huge. But that's not the answer, because the actual number is 1,300. You could fit 1,300 planets the size of Earth inside of Jupiter. The Nemesis star, being about 1.2 times the size of Jupiter, well, there's a rough idea of the kind of size we're talking about.
I mean, look at that thing. A giant, perfectly round, red cloud? Not.